Hello, Scream Demons, and welcome to the Screams from the Basement podcast with Sam and Casey.
This is the scariest horror podcast on this side of the Black Lagoon. Screams from the Basement discusses the best double features the genre has to offer.
We also interview the industry's finest that make our screams become nightmares. I am one of your creepy co-hosts. I am Casey.
And I am Sam the Damned, and let's get the screaming!
Let's get screaming on our official, unofficial Halloween episode of the Screams from the Basement podcast.
Yeah, it's funny. We're doing a Sid Haig double feature, but rewatching House of a Thousand Corpses, I forgot that it was like straight up. It's a Halloween movie. Like I forgot it was set on Halloween. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is perfect. Yeah. It was funny when you. Can we get into the late night process a little bit for a minute here for just a second?
Sure.
Yeah. So originally,
we are playing this movie as late night at late night at the State.
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses. Tonight, if you're listening to this on Friday.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this afterwards, hey, hello, hope you had a great time.
Yeah. We hope you had a great time. If you missed it, God, you're shit out of luck. It was a one night only screening.
Sucks to suck.
But originally your idea was to do House of a Thousand Corpses on Halloween. And we have a different one for Halloween that it'll probably be there by Friday, but whatever. We won't say it yet. But we ended up doing House of a Thousand on the 24th. Because we came up with a different Halloween late night. But
Sam, we can say what it is. By then it'll be out. It's Halloween 2.
Yeah, it's Halloween 2. We're very exciד to bring Halloween
Rob
2
Zombie's
to the
Halloween 2.
Not Rob Zombie's Halloween 2,
no.
But that would
Halloween
be
2.
That would be a baller late night, honestly.
Hell yeah.
That movie's so fucking weird. But House of a Thousand, when you first were like, oh, that'd be a great Halloween late night, I'm like, why Halloween? And then after rewatching it for the first time in well over a decade, I was like, oh yeah, this is dripping with Halloween atmosphere. So kudos to you. I totally get it now, but yeah. I'm glad that the late nights worked out the way they did. I'm glad we're still playing this, but I think that Halloween 2 late night is going to be really cool.
It's a better Halloween movie than both of Rob Zombie's Halloween movies.
House of a Thousand Corpses is? Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, the whole time I was watching it, I was kind of like, God, this is kind of what I wish his Halloween would have been. A little more this. Because I do feel we don't need to get too far into it, but I do feel like his Halloween is pretty indebted, especially in the back half, to the Carpenter classic. He's trying to do the Carpenter classic, and I'm like, just be Rob Zombie. And that's why I think I like 2 a little bit better, because that one just is a fucking Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, for better or worse, it is just a Rob Zombie doing a Halloween movie. Yeah. I think for better.
I would agree mostly for better. For better.
Well, today's double feature that we're going to be talking about here, it's kind of I think it's fun that we're doing kind of an odd one for our Halloween double feature. Because of course, last time when you and I were just talking, we talked Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town.
Yeah.
That's the perfect growing up on Halloween nights, watching those 2 movies. Versus here, where it's really outside of the box Halloween double feature. If you're getting friends together on Halloween night, these aren't the first 2 movies you're going to throw together.
No.
For a Halloween movie night, but they totally work as that.
Yeah, Spider Baby isn't even necessarily set on Halloween, but it definitely has that Halloween fall vibe to it. It's very ooky, spooky. I love the vibes of Spider Baby. Yeah.
So today's double feature, we're talking Spider Baby from 1967 and Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses from 2023. What's the connection between these 2? Well, the big one is, of course, Sid Haig, the late great Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding himself. He appears in both of these movies. Spider Baby was one of, if not his first first leading roles, not necessarily the lead, but a leading performer in the movie. And then really House of a Thousand Corpses brought him back into the mainstream in 2003.
Oh, yeah.
Also, there is a connection between these two movies on the back end. Did you notice this? I'm going to bring it up right now.
I did not notice it. What is this connection you're speaking of?
They both end with the screen saying "the end."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Question mark.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
They both do that. Yeah.
They do, yeah. They do really make a good double feature. Not just for the Sid Haig of it all, but it is like, it's kind of cool to see a young Sid Haig playing a psychotic person that a group of unsuspecting people run into in the middle of nowhere. And then watching, like, decades later, Sid Haig play a psychotic weirdo that people run into unsuspectingly in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's a really cool double feature, actually. It works really well.
Yeah, it does. I'm so excited to get into this Spider Baby. It's a first time watch for both of us. So, Sam, you ready to get into Spider Baby?
Yes, let's do it.
So, released in 1967, Spider Baby, or The Maddest Story Ever Told, is written and directed by Jack Hill. The cast includes Wolfman himself, Lon Chaney Jr. as Bruno, the caretaker and driver of this crazed Merrill family. Sid Haig as Ralph, kind of the... I don't know how to describe Ralph. He's a bit... I think he's supposed to be deformed.
Yeah.
And definitely a slower character. We can get into how this movie probably won't be made today. Jill Banner plays Virginia. Beverly Washburn plays Elizabeth. Carol Omart plays Emily. And Quinn Redeker as Peter. Sorry. So that is Spider Baby 1967. Sam, what is the plot of Spider Baby? What little plot we actually get of this movie?
Hold on. I just realized that I had my names mixed up in my in my plot. So, yeah. Hold on. Jill Banner. Yeah, Jill Banner. Okay. Thanks for correcting me before you even knew you were correcting me, Casey. All right.
We got it.
We got it. The plot of Spider Baby. A trio of violent, cannibalistic inbred siblings terrorize their wealthy, distant relatives when those distant relatives attempt to collect on an inheritance that they feel is rightly theirs. Sid Haig's Ralph is a horny pervert, Beverly Washburn's Elizabeth is a psychotic hate-monger, and Jill Banner's Virginia. Wow, yeah, I totally typed that wrong already. Vifina. Virginia is a sweet young girl who just happens to think she's a spider. Oh, and they're all being taken care of, as you said, by one Lon Chaney Jr., who, as always, is giving a tremendous performance in an absolute schlockfest. Yeah. Spider Baby.
The maddest story ever told.
Like, if you... I'll say this now.
What's your initial thoughts on this? Yeah.
I liked this one a lot. I don't know if it's one that, like, I'd throw on any time, like, but it's pretty wild for 1967, right? Like, it's a fairly, like, what the fuck kind of movie. Weirdly, the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, if we weren't pairing this with House of a Thousand Corpses, I would almost double feature this with Munster Go Home, because the plots and premises are, like, almost entirely beat for beat the same thing. I wish there was a drag race at the end of like a car race at the end of this, but it just, the vibe of this one being from that same era, it's kind of like a violent, creepy Munster Go Home in a sense, and I was vibing with it. I was vibing with it a lot. What about you, Casey?
Yeah, I had a great time with this movie. I feel like this movie, 1967, it's way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to talk about how in 1960 Psycho changed the game, which it obviously did. It really set up what would become the slasher movies of the late 70s, early 80s. But then you look at this, and you have this movie that came out in 1967, where it deals with cannibalism, inbreds, sexual perverts, all wrapped into this one movie,
Yeah.
where it doesn't show a lot of that graphic nature of it, but it's still hinted at, much like how Texas Chainsaw Massacre hints at its violence in it, and even its cannibalism in that. So I think a lot of movies owe a debt of gratitude to Spider Baby for carving a path that wasn't present before this.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. It's very much like just from the opening to like to the end, there's a lot of stuff that have become hallmarks in horror in the years since in this movie. I love the framing device of this. I think the framing device in this story is really clever, and I think it allows for a pretty creepy ending that it didn't necessarily like actually wig me out, but like if I'm an audience member in 1967, that ending is like sending me home with my skin crawling. Like I really appreciated that.
Yeah. This movie, I want to get into it because right away, I think there's something about the tone of this movie I want to talk about,
Yeah.
and I think that's really what sets it apart for me. Is that it's taking itself seriously, like the world is serious, everything that happens is something, it's serious, real life stuff happens to these people,
Yeah.
but it also has this like weird fucked up melancholy whimsical charm to it, much like
Yeah.
I think House of a Thousand Corpses does too.
Yeah. Like I would be surprised if this wasn't one of Rob's influences on House of a Thousand Corpses.
100% it
Like
was.
because it definitely feels very very similar in tone, kind of, where
Yeah.
it's like this is all kind of heinous stuff, but there's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of like there's a cheeky nature to the whole thing. Like the credits are animated in that classic like 60s
Like a
style, and like
monster's goddamn movie.
yeah, exactly. And so it's like I love the opening credits with the old school animations and like the weird voiceover music that's talking about a cannibal orgy, like because it's not like the guy's not singing; it's like a narrator talking about a cannibal orgy over this like
Yeah, in
zippy
like a
kind of music.
sing-songy tone. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's talking
it's
about like the Wolfman shows up and Frankenstein's monster and Dracula, like, but it's like a yeah, like a monster cannibal orgy.
Yeah, 100%. I found a lot of fun in this opening.
Yeah,
I really adored that.
which
Um,
leads me to the original title of this movie was not Spider Baby. It was Cannibal Orgy,
I mean,
which
on
I don't
one
know if they could
hand,
get away with in 1967.
yeah, probably not. Probably not. That's something that you'd see on Tubi now from like 2014. Um, but
Or like
like,
1973.
yeah, yeah. I but at the same time, I think that the title Spider Baby works for this. Like, I mean, we'll get into the three siblings, but to me, the titular Spider Baby is like the most interesting of those three. I think she's
Yeah.
just wild, like the other two are kind of your your run of the mill psychos, and this girl thinks she's a fucking spider. Like, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so the movie starts with this opening narration where this guy's talking about the Merrill syndrome. This is 10 years after the events of this movie take place. And it's basically the Merrill syndrome is what they call humans who revert back to like their animalistic, cannibalistic nature.
Yeah.
And like it's setting us up, hey, this is what the story is going to be about. Here's this family with this last name, Merrill, and they're basically straight up a family of cannibals and inbreds.
Yeah. And like you're introduced to them through Virginia, who is like basically like there's a postman who's coming to deliver a
On
letter
a
to this
really,
house.
really badass 3-wheel bike.
Yeah, yeah. And he gets there and he looks through the window for some fucking reason. And she traps him. That she's rigged the window to fall, and she covers him with a spider web. And then she slices him to death. And
Yeah,
you
she
actually
lops
see
his
like
ear.
you see a severed ear.
Yeah, she lops his ear off, and you see an ear just flop onto the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it was kind of I wasn't expecting violence out of the first like 5 minutes of this movie, and you get it. Like it's just like, oh damn, like this girl's off the deep end, and then her sister comes in and is like weirdly just kind of she's not happy about it, but she's pretty cavalier about the whole thing. And you just get the sense like, oh, this is a regular occurrence. This is what just happens here.
They have people come in anytime some stranger comes to the house and doesn't want to play spider with her. Their ear is coming off.
Mm-hmm. Also, this
but then you
house
get
is
Bruno.
cool. Like
The house is super cool.
like I love the way the house is framed. Like when you first come upon the house, you're at like kind of low angles. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre took some stuff from this movie. Like there's no doubt. There's no doubt. The way they frame this house is very similar to Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Also, this house was later used in another horror movie, Insidious Chapter 2.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh
it is
my
the house,
God.
I believe, that Barbara Hershey lives in that movie.
Oh my God. That's awesome. That's super
If I'm
cool.
not, it's either that house or the house that the black veil bride lives
Oh,
at, or
yeah,
like
that's right.
their parents' house or whatever. It's in Insidious 2. I know I visually have seen this house before.
Yeah.
But then we get introduced to Bruno and Ralph. Bruno, played by Lon Chaney Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
he's incredible in this movie. He's the caretaker of the family here, of these three kids that I suppose are supposed to be teenagers,
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like I,
or
I
at
think
least like
I think Ralph might be like older, like maybe 20, but the other
yeah,
two are definitely like in their teens, um, on the verge of maybe on the verge of adulthood,
yeah,
but not quite there yet.
yeah. So like 16, 17, 18 years old, enough
Yeah.
that they still need legally have a caretaker to take care of them, and they get a letter that a lawyer is coming.
Yeah, with some distant relatives who think they have a right to the land.
Yep. So
And
like we're thrown into this right away. Like the
yeah,
movie does not waste. There's not an ounce of fat in this movie.
they're psychos and their normal relatives are coming to visit. Keep up.
Yep. That's it. Keep going. Let's
Yeah.
go.
so
Yeah.
so Bruno does like this crash course in etiquette training with them so that they actually don't look, like psychotic cannibals when their relatives show up.
Yeah. And he's wearing this like goofy little outfit with like short shorts on. And
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah. Sid Haig, he doesn't get a lot. He doesn't get a lot to say in this movie.
No,
The
he's a
character
pretty
is,
silent character.
pretty silent. He does talk a little, so he's not a complete mute. But what he does with his physical performance is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Like when he
He's doing a
first
lot with a little.
Yeah, like when he first comes on screen, like just the way he moves is pretty unnerving. Like he's
He
not
like falls out of the car.
Yeah. And then he's like kind of slowly move almost like a spider, to be honest. Like the way his
Yeah.
limbs are kind of just like always kind of outstretched is it's really something.
Yeah, he's almost like a spider meets like Igor from like Frankenstein adaptations. Like a
Yeah.
mix between the two in a way.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Um,
It's funny when the quote unquote normal family that shows up is Peter and Emily, their
mhm.
brother sister. Also showing up is the lawyer and his secretary.
Yep.
Peter and the secretary kind of hit it off, and there's a little bit of like a romantic subplot to this movie.
Yeah.
Emily is just an awful person. You
Yeah.
immediately are against her, and you're like, I don't care what happens to her. Same with the lawyer. He's not the nicest dude. He's trying to play nice a bit with the family, but he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
No offense to any lawyers listening, but as
you're
lawyers
scum.
you suck. No, as lawyers are portrayed in movies,
Yeah.
this guy is definitely a movie lawyer for sure.
Oh yeah, 100% like your typical movie lawyer that's just yeah, sleazy greased palms type of yeah.
What did you think of the dinner scene where they say the family is
A
vegetarian. And then Ralph finds a cat and feeds them a cat.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like that scene is I mean, I was kind of laughing through it because I was kind of like, what the fuck am I even watching?
Yeah.
The insistence that they're vegetarians, and then one of the daughters, I can't remember which, goes like, we don't eat living, or we don't eat dead things. Like, oh god, that with the cannibal like bent to it is
then
like
Ralph just starts scarfing down on this cat's leg, and they're like,
yeah.
aren't you guys vegetarians? Oh well, he caught it, so he deserves it.
Yeah, he eats what he wants.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And like Haig is just really hamming it up in this. Like he is very much relishing this like you know, for it being one of his earliest roles. Like I think this is only like his third or fourth movie that he was in. He's really just all in on it. Like he's a character actor through and through, and it was evident even
100%.
even here. Yeah.
And then you have Lon Chaney, who's just playing it all straight and really grounding the family. And I think that's something that's missing in modern movies when you have kind of the weirdo cannibal murder family. I think it's always necessary you need the quote unquote normal one.
Yeah, the one that kind of grounds the rest of them.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. You have you have Drayton Sawyer, who's obviously off his rocker, but can fit in with society.
Yep, he can go judge chili competition or win chili competitions, and most people are like, yeah, he's fine. He's an upstanding fellow, and it's not until he gets behind closed doors that he's the psycho. You know?
Yeah. Versus the rest of the Sawyer family is going nowhere near public at all.
Yeah.
Like Chop Top shows up to a chili eating concert, and they're arresting that dude.
Yeah, 100%.
He's ending up in the prison for the night. Same thing here. The rest of the family, these kids, the Merrill kids, are going nowhere near society. They're not leaving the house.
No, definitely
Versus Lon Chaney Jr., who is every account super normal, just taking care of this family because that's his duty.
Yep.
Also, he's covering up that they're eating people and murderers.
Yeah. He clearly has a lot of loyalty to these people. But yeah, he doesn't seem to like he seems to be extremely bothered by everything they're doing, but he also is like, well, they can't help it. You know, like this is the way they are. And you kind of empathize with the guy. It feels like he's just between a rock and a hard place this entire movie. And
genuinely cares for these kids, even though they're doing horrible, horrible things.
Yeah. And by the end, like when he has to do what he does, like it's really sad actually. Like I mean, he actually is bringing tears to his eyes at times in this movie. Like he's giving a performance that you don't typically get in like movies of this ilk, you know? Like you don't typically see something that's that genuinely emotionally involving. But he was
the first pick. He was Jack Hill's first pick to play the role of Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
His agent was like, no, you guys aren't going to pay enough. So they looked at other actors, including, this is just going to become a Carradine show, David Carradine to play this role. But Lon Chaney's like, I don't care. I want to play this. Just pay me what you guys were going to pay me. I'm doing this role. And took
Hell
it
yeah.
on. And he's incredible in this movie. He is really giving a great performance here.
Yeah, you can see the dedication. Like he wants to be here. He wants to do this movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the normies get split up, you have Peter and the lawyer's assistant. They're going to go stay at a hotel down the road. Then you have the lawyer and Emily staying back at the house. And they get separated. The lawyer ends up getting killed by the two girls, by Virginia and Elizabeth, with a pitchfork.
Because he finds people in the basement. Like, there's a secret door that leads to the pantry moves, and then there's a secret door that leads down to the basement, and they've got people in a pit down there. Presumably, I think it's meant to be like relatives, even.
Yeah, I mean, they keep Dad. Dad is in the house.
Oh my god,
he's up in his bed.
The dad scene is fantastic. Oh, what's the quote? I'm pretty sure I wrote it down. Hold on. Yeah, just nighty night, daddy. And she leaves the room and the camera just pans over and it's a fucking skeleton in the bed.
It's a skeleton in the bed.
Yeah.
Something that, again, feels way ahead of its time. Emily is in her room and she completely just strips down to her underwear.
Mm-hmm.
We see like the entire sequence of that happening. Then you have Ralph like descending from the roof.
Yeah.
Outside of her window, hanging upside down, being a peeping Tom at her.
Yeah, which is another, like, it's kind of funny because, Spider Baby, when you think about it, at like first glance, the Spider Baby is Virginia, right? Because she's the one that's obsessed with spiders. She's catching people in webs. She's stinging them. But like, Sid Haig's movements are very spider-like, and he's literally crawling down a wall to be a peeping Tom. And it's just like, that scene is so good, so well done. Like, I love the way it's framed. I love the way it's shot. Like, I'm talking myself into a higher star rating than I gave this movie, Casey. Like, discussing this has actually been like, wow, this is a good movie.
It is good. It is a good movie, Sam. So the girls end up chasing Emily outside. Ralph follows them. Again, she's like running in her lingerie. Like, crazy that people were freaking out about a toilet flushing 7 years earlier than this. Right. And now we got this happening. Cannibalistic family chasing after a woman wearing lingerie in an open field.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a very, again, uncomfortable scene. So again, not only is this the Merrill family a bunch of cannibals, inbreds, they're also trying to get some with their own family members.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they're related to Peter and Emily.
That was not lost on me.
Yeah. Audience members, remember that. Because, Ralph is being a peeping Tom to Emily. And then you have Virginia basically does like a striptease to Peter when he returns to the house.
Mm-hmm.
He agrees to play Spider with her. Gets tied up in the chair, and like she like straight up tries to seduce him.
Yeah. There's a lot of I mean, I know it's like implied with the inbred, but there's a lot of straight up like, if not on-screen incest, like
implied
attempts at and very much implied incest, and like it makes certain scenes even more uncomfortable than they already are. It's like, oh my god, like I'm genuinely a little shocked that this came out in 1967. Like the style, the filming, like all of that, I'm like, yeah, this is a 1967 movie. The fucking content is like, I'm shocked this isn't like from a decade later.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, she's asking Peter. She's like literally on top of him. She's like, "Do you find that girl pretty?" And he's like, "Well, yes, I do." like very like old timey. And then
Yeah.
she's like pulls up her like dress and she's like, "How about me?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Well, no, no." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a movie way ahead of its time.
Yeah. It really is. And like, you know, it it doesn't it's not slow. It's not necessarily a slow burn because there's stuff happening throughout. But like even though there's stuff happening throughout, I feel like it hits the final 20 minutes and it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like it's nuts. You know, you find out that you actually see the people in the basement. They're being kept down in a pit and they're just trying to drag people down with them. Like there is loony as the fucking people that live in the upstairs of the house.
Huh.
Like
I mean, both of these movies have like corpses in the basement.
yeah, exactly. And I just Lon Chaney Jr. realizing that like things have gone too far and he's not going to be able to cover this up when he decides that he is going to blow up the house and with it the children that he is supposed to be taking care of. It's kind of a heartbreaking moment because he's talking to them like they're children, like it'll all be good soon. I'm gonna fix this. But he's so sad the whole time. And it's just Lon Chaney Jr. is one of those actors that is known for horror. And he, you know, especially like the Wolfman. Like everybody knows him as Larry Talbot. And like those movies are not one-off Lon Chaney performances. Like he is that good here too. You know, I'd argue that the
I
Wolfman.
mean, that's why I think between him and Karloff, those are my two Universal
Yeah,
actors that I think are just elevating the roles and the performances.
yeah, I agree. I
And
agree
yeah,
100%.
him as Larry Talbot is like extremely, extremely relatable, and
Mm-hmm.
he finds this like nuance in playing, you know, a werewolf.
Yeah,
Same thing here. He's finding something in this character that you latch onto as an audience member. So when he does blow up the house at the end and kill himself and the entire family, you feel something there. You're like, oh well, that sucks. Like, but yeah, what other option did he have at that point?
yeah, 100%. It's just
Yeah.
one of those just heartbreaking moments. And just acted so beautifully. I love
Yeah.
it.
I love the ending here where we get the full stinger for the evil still out there type ending,
Yeah,
where you have Peter and Anne, who was the secretary. 10 years later, Peter's recounting this story, and they now have a daughter, Jessica, and it basically lets her run outside and zooms in on her watching a spider.
yeah, and yeah, freeze frame over the spider, and like you said, the end with a question mark, and
Question mark.
just a phenomenal ending, like one that you know yeah, it's been done in horror movies a bunch, but it hadn't been done a ton in
It's not a
1967.
trope in 1967, no.
Yeah. So it's just, this movie was definitely ahead of its time, I feel like, in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways.
Yeah. So the only other trivia I have for this movie before we get to our final thoughts, the alternate titles, like I said. So the movie is known as Spider Baby, or Spider Baby: The Maddest Story Ever Told. Original title was Cannibal Orgy, but it was also released during the drive-in days as the Liver Eaters,
The Liver
which is a great
Eaters.
title too. Yeah,
That's pretty fantastic, yeah.
yeah, the Liver Eaters. So Sam, what are you giving? What are you giving the Liver Eaters out of 5 livers?
Um, you know, when I logged this on Letterboxd, I gave it 3.5. I'm gonna bump this up to 4. I think this is a solid 4 out of 5 livers. Like I said, I don't know if it's one that like it's kind of it's a little bit of a shower movie if I'm being honest, which is not something that I expected to say about something from 1967. but it's really effective. It's really well done, and it's got some great performances in it. Um, so yeah, I'd say this is a solid 4 out of 5. Like this is a cult classic for a reason. It is. I mean, it's seminal when you look at horror, especially like the horror boom that happened in the 70s. Like, it's a lot of it's very indebted to this movie. And I don't know. I'm glad we covered it on the podcast, and I hope everybody who hasn't seen it gives it a chance and a watch. What about you, Casey? How many livers are you giving this one?
I gave this 3.5. Got a little full on that fourth one. Yeah, I think this again. It's way ahead of its time. I would argue in the grand scheme of horror, Psycho is probably still more influential, but in terms of pure movies that took direct stuff from this might be more influential than Psycho. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a better movie at all. I think Psycho is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
But in terms of influence, I think Spider Baby should be right in that conversation for 60s horror. This movie's incredible. There's so many influences that you can see in later horror films. Great performances here. You and I talked before the movie. You're like, oh, we're not going to have that much to say because there's not that many themes of this movie or these movies. And I'm like, no, there's not a whole lot of themes, but like, there's still something to grasp onto, at least in this one. I don't think House of a Thousand Corpses does.
Yeah, that one's a bit of a mess, but it's also a very entertaining
It doesn't
mess.
have like a character. It doesn't have a big character moment for any of the characters. It's things happen. Yeah. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me on Spider Baby, the maddest story ever told.
Hell yeah.
The movie did receive a remake within the last, I think, like 2 or 3 years.
Seriously?
It did. I believe from Wild Eye Releasing. So very low budget, from director Dustin Ferguson, who, no shade to the guy, I'm glad he makes movies. He doesn't make movies for me. But yeah, Brink Stevens is in it. Yeah.
Interesting.
I watched the trailer for it. It's a colorized version, but still you have all the same characters in it. I think it uses probably the same Jack Hill script. Kind of crazy.
That is pretty that's more than kind of crazy. That's who is remaking Spider Baby? I mean, apparently Dustin Ferguson. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this movie's public domain, so I think you can do whatever you want with it. I think it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Is it's public domain. That's yeah. We should host this one sometime.
100%. It's one of the best public domain horror movies.
Yeah,
one of the best public domain movies. Period. Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Well, before we find our way to a house that contains 1,000 corpses, we'll get into that. I don't think there's actually 1,000 corpses there. Let's get to our first ad read for the show.
There are a lot of corpses, Casey.
We'll get to it. We've joined the Full Moon Army, and we want you to take advantage of our exclusive offer for listeners of Screams from the Basement. Full Moon features best known for their Video Isle classic franchises Puppet Master, Subspecies, and the Evil Bong series is offering 10% off every order on fullmoonhorror.com when you use our discount code SCREAMS at checkout. This goes towards all in-stock items, including Blu-rays, DVDs, replicas, action figures, and so much more. Exclusions do apply. Again, visit fullmoonhorror.com and use promo code SCREAMS at checkout to save 10%. Link in the episode description. All right, Sam, let's get to House of 729 Corpses from 2003. It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
No. I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses, regardless of whether you think the movie lives up to that title, that's a dope-ass title. Like,
oh, it's a banging title. It's one of, I would say it's a top-tier horror movie title of all time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think, like, this whole trilogy has great titles. Like, the sequel being The Devil's Rejects, and then Three from Hell. Like, regardless of how you feel about Mr. Zombie's movies, he knows how to title a movie. Lords of Salem, that tells you, like, I don't know. I love Rob Zombie titles. They're great.
And he gets to 31. It's
Yeah,
like, what?
31, the movie kind of matches the title.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. This is the second time we've covered Mr. Robert Zombie on this podcast, and I'm glad.
This is.
We should cover
last
him
time
more.
we covered him, I am 100% down to eventually cover the entire Robert Bartholomew Zombies filmography.
Yes.
Because last time we talked to him, it was pretty early on in the show. We talked about the animated film, The Haunted World of El Super Beasto,
Yes.
with Lords of Salem. Why was that the double feature? Because fuck you, that's why. I don't know. Who cares?
Because those are, I'm going to say it, because those are two of his best movies.
They are two of the best, and they're also two of the most unique in his filmography, and two of the most, like, Rob Zombie movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the most Rob Zombie movie to ever Rob Zombie is the one we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah. For better and worse.
For better and worse. So this movie came out 2003, was shot in the year 2000. Rob Zombie at this point was he was musician Rob Zombie. He'd come off White Zombie, then blew up as a solo artist. Obviously had Dragula at this point, Living Dead Girl. Hellbilly Deluxe was a massive album that had
Huge
come
album.
out. He directed his own music videos, hence why we see some of that style and influence in this movie. But he also worked on other feature films by this point. He did some animation on, do you know?
I do not.
He did animation work on Beavis and Butthead Do America.
No way, seriously?
Yeah.
That's rad. I did not know that.
Yep. So he did animation on that, so he got an itch for the filmmaking side. He wrote scripts, I believe, for a Mummy movie.
Mm-hmm. I did know about that.
I think a Crow movie or something like that. It was another property movie that he wrote a script for.
I mean, everybody in the late 90s had a Mummy script that they wanted to make.
Yeah. I'm sure it was like around the time they made the Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, because there was that Mick Garris, Clive Barker one too. Like, there were a ton of Mummy projects in the late 90s that were like, that they were trying to get off the ground, and then Steven
all
Summers
from Universal too.
Yeah, 100%.
And speaking of Universal, that's where this movie kind of comes into play. Rob Zombie was working on a Universal Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if they called it that at this point in the year 2000. Might have. I don't know. But this House of a Thousand Corpses was going to be an attraction at Halloween Horror Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Then finally, he's like, I love this lore. I love what I'm setting up with Dr. Satan especially. Let's just make this a movie.
Yeah.
So he got to make the movie. He was given a budget of $4 million to make this movie. Then Universal's like, we're not going to pay attention to what you're doing. We don't really care. Do whatever you want. So he goes on to spend $7 to $13 million on this movie.
So I watched this twice in a day. I watched it once just to refresh for this podcast.
Yeah.
And then I watched it with the director's commentary. There's two of them. I watched the one with the most recent, which is the one from 2023 that he did for the 20th anniversary release. And he basically said that he had gotten so far into this movie, he was like very close to completing it. He did a test screening with Universal executives, and they immediately pulled the plug after the test screening. They were like, nope, we're not putting this out. This is abhorrent. Like, they called it morally, I think he said they called it morally reprehensible in an official statement on why they canceled it. I'm like, that's so fucked up. Jesus Christ.
He had shot the ending of this movie that we get, knowing it was horrible, hoping they would give him more money.
Yeah.
And they pulled the plug on it.
And so he
instead.
just went and did like so that's the thing is he did some reshoots over the years. He's like there were a lot of people that like we just became friends on this set. So they'd just come and they'd, go to my garage or my basement and we'd shoot little scenes to like fill it out. So he was like still filming stuff even after Universal pulled the plug and still messing with it in the edit. Um and then did you read about what happened with MGM?
Yeah, so he got the rights back. He bought the rights from Universal for the
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
So now Rob Zombie owns them. Went to MGM. And what did he say to them that pissed them off?
I can't. So he didn't say it to them. It was like I can't remember exactly. I didn't write it down when I was watching the commentary, but essentially, like MGM, he had inked a deal for them to distribute it, right? And he was on. He was at some event, some like red carpet event, and was getting interviewed by a couple of celebrities. And he thought he was off record at this point, and he made some joke about like what he needed from MGM or something like that.
He said something directly about them. It was something along the lines of, for someone to release a movie like this, you got to have no morals like MGM.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was. Like he was like making a joke based
Throwing
off of
shade
the
at them, like
Universal
joking.
statement.
Yeah.
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 And like MGM took it completely seriously and we're like, well, fuck you, then we're not releasing this. So then he was back to square one, and finally Lionsgate saved it and put it out because it's Lionsgate, and they're like, yeah, twisted shit is like our thing.
Yeah. We want to get into that, so can you help us get there?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the abbreviated 4 or 5 year story of how this movie finally came to be.
It's funny too, like on the commentary, he keeps like starting the story and then he'll stop to actually comment on like what's going on screen. And then he's like, oh, where was I? Back to this. And he goes like almost a half an hour of the commentary is back and forth, him telling the story of like all the shit that he went through on production. Actually, not even production, post production. Like,
yeah, and he is no stranger to strained productions. Once we cover his Halloween movies, we'll get into that. But Sam, let's jump into House of 728 Corpses from 2003. The movie is written, directed by Rob Zombie. Cast includes Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, the killer, fried chicken-eating clown. Bill Moseley as Otis, the leader of the Firefly family. Sherry Moon Zombie, the wife, then girlfriend of Rob Zombie, plays Baby Firefly. A very young Chris Hardwick plays Jerry, an overeager true crime fan. And Rainn Wilson plays his buddy, Bill, the Fishboy, and another young performance in this. Walton Goggins shows up in this movie as a police officer. Well before the Righteous Gemstones, he was rocking and rolling as Officer Naish.
yeah.
Sam, what is A House of a Thousand Corpses about? Can you describe this plot for us?
Not much plot, but here's a good college try. A group of young college kids writing a book on freakish roadside attractions find exactly what they're looking for, and more, when they come across Captain Spaulding and the psychotic Firefly family. These four ill-defined characters descend into a nightmarish, hallucinatory night full of murder and mayhem, while searching for the mysterious Dr. Satan. Who will survive? Who will survive? And will they end up with a fishtail?
At least one of them does.
At least one of them. House of a Thousand Corpses. Fucking
House of a
Fishboy, man.
Thousand Corpses. This movie is one that continuously gets better and better and better for me each time I watch it. I'm on borderline. I love this movie. Come Friday night, watching this at the State Theater, my opinion from this podcast that you're listening to that night might change watching this on the big screen. Because I watched it on VHS tape. I think it's the second time I watched it on VHS. I love this movie. mess and
Hmm.
all. It's it's an extremely messy movie. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat that at all. There is next to zero plot of this movie. I could give two shits about any of the kids that get captured by the Firefly family. The third act is horrendous. It's just
It's a really
nonsense
bad
that
third
happens.
act. Like,
Yeah.
what does any of it mean?
What does any of it mean? Who are some of these people? What is happening anymore? But goddamn, do I not have a blast with this fucked up movie?
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Everyone's committed to the bit. Rob Zombie is clearly having a blast making this movie.
Mm,
And I would say maybe more so than any other movie in his filmography, I feel him having fun
yeah.
making this movie.
Oh, 100%. This movie is definitely a movie where everybody from cast to crew were having a blast making it. I mean, every actor in this is giving 110%. Like, I feel like even the like, look, the are protagonists, I guess, of this movie.
I don't think we have protagonists in this movie. I think Rob Zombie will even tell you we don't
Yeah,
have
like,
protagonists in this movie.
you just really kind of have people like the personalities of the four victims are non-existent because they don't need to be. Like, Rob Zombie is just like, here's four kids, we're gonna do some fucked up shit to them for 90 minutes. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is. Like, it's not.
And that's literally, I have heard him say in interviews, he's like, I didn't write these characters to have really anything about them that you're supposed to like or latch onto, because I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not who this movie is. This movie is about this weirdo family and what they do to these people.
Yeah, like, it's such an interesting, like, I like that we paired this with Spider Baby because I feel, even though at the start of this movie you're definitely more with the like group of kids than you are the Firefly family, I do feel like perspective wise both Spider Baby and House of a Thousand Corpses are actually like perspective from the killers, you know.
100%.
Yeah, like, you know, once you get to the Firefly house, that's who you're focused on. It's about baby Firefly. It's about Otis. It's about Mama Firefly and like all the crazy fucked up shit that they're doing, you know? Um
Yeah, I mean, if you watch this for the first time and you might see Chris Hardwick, Rainn Wilson,
mhm,
you're like, oh, okay, there's our leads of this movie because they're in other things, obviously.
mhm.
Like, I know those people, I know those faces.
But no
And then
one
when
knew
you see
them
Rainn
then.
Wilson as a Fishboy, and you're like, oh, never mind, he's not a main character. And then you see Chris Hardwick kind of just disappears at one point during this movie.
Mhm.
It's like, oh no, we're not following these characters at all because
No.
between the four characters, because we have the two females and the two males. I think the two males probably stand out more so because of who the actors are now versus, you know, then in 2003.
Yeah.
I get the two female leads mixed up. I think I'd get the two male leads mixed up too if I didn't know them as actors outside of this
Right.
movie.
Because they're
Because
they're
they're all nothing characters. All four of them. Nothing characters.
mhm. Yeah, like, and I don't even mean that as like a knock on the movie. Like, it doesn't bother me because the
No.
movie is just a vibe. Like, you open up with Spaulding and his assistant, and they like,
Oh, you open up first before we get to Spaulding.
oh my God, yes,
Goddamn,
the
Dr.
black and white,
Wolfenstein.
yes, Dr. Wolfenstein. I love this opening. Love this opening. It's
Yeah,
so
Dr. Wolfenstein, the horror host, hosting a movie. I know one of the movie. I don't know if he's hosting this movie or he's at least showing parts of it. The old dark house is featured here in the opening of
mhm.
this, which is definitely an influence for Mr. Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah, he even talks on the commentary about like about how he was just using whatever. He was like, you know, Universal just had this huge library of horror movies that I grew up on and that I loved, and I just had fair game to use all of them. And it shocks me because I'm like, how did you maintain that after Universal dropped the project? You know? it's kind of crazy to me that he was able to keep all of that, but he does. Like, there's
I think it's
so many
because
Universal clips interspersed through it.
yeah, I think it's because the production was under Universal, not the distribution.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. And
Because
like,
yeah,
I suppose you don't
you see the giant creature on the wall at one point.
Mhm.
There's monsters in here at one point too.
Yeah,
Like,
they're watching the monsters at certain points. I and I guess like you don't really ever see more than a few seconds either. So maybe like,
it's
you know,
not
I
like
know,
remaking any of those movies. It's
yeah,
just set
exactly. It's
dressing
just
in a way.
clips. And so it kind of feels like you can get away with more of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the opening. It's so classic and retro and Halloween. And then you go into like Captain Spaulding's, and like this place, I love this set. I love the lighting, the blue and green that you have outside. It's really spooky and kind of dingy, and Spaulding is getting held up in his own place, and he's just like, "Oh no." Just pulls a gun out and shoots the guy point blank in the head, and is literally mopping up the brains when our four teenagers come in. Like,
I want to talk about Captain Spaulding's a second.
yeah.
Because Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen is a like roadside attraction, gas station, and fried chicken restaurant.
Yes. I want to go there.
Guarantee this has existed.
Oh, yeah.
And Rob Zombie spent time there.
Yeah.
100% guarantee. I don't know if he says that in the commentary anywhere, but knowing the environment, Rob Zombie, if you didn't know, he grew up in a circus. His family is carnies.
Yeah.
Like, he grew up around this. He grew up around freaks and weirdos and horror and outside and oddities. All of that stuff. All the stuff you see in his work, he grew up around. He's the closest thing you will ever find to someone who's lived that carnival lifestyle in the entertainment industry. So I guarantee he's gone to a place like Captain Spaulding's that has like weird true crime shit. It's also a gas station and probably has like the best fried chicken in the South.
Oh, God, for sure. For sure. And,
So,
you know, he did say that they actually built like a functioning like attraction. Like the thing that they go on is legit like a functioning thing that they built for this movie. That's where your budget's going. Like that I really feel like
he's
Captain
building actual
Spaulding's is like
haunts.
yeah. Like Captain Spaulding's is something they actually built, and that doesn't happen cheap at all.
Yeah.
So, but
well,
it,
and I
it
know
pays off.
when they did eventually make House of a Thousand Corpses and do an actual Universal has since embraced this movie.
Yeah, of course, because it's a cult classic now. Yeah.
Yeah. And have made Universal horror nights, Halloween Horror Nights rides on this. And I know Captain Spaulding's is one of them. I know the Firefly House is another, and then I know the end, like Dr. Satan's underground
like lab
dungeon, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is another part, and you can see that in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That it's all set up to make eventual haunted houses.
Yeah, for sure. Like you have like three kind of separate stories that kind of go on. It's not quite, but it's almost like an anthology where it's like, well, first you encounter Dr. Spaulding and he gives you this like kind of creepy tour, and then he tells you, oh, if you want Dr. Satan, you should go to this house. No. And you go to the house and Dr. Satan's not there, but you're encountering some other just kind of psychotic fucking weirdos, right?
Yeah.
And then you finally get downstairs trying to get away from these psychos, and oh shit, out of the frying pan into the fire, because guess what, bitch? You found Dr. Satan.
Fuck around and find out.
And it's kind of fun in that sense. Like it makes the whole movie feel a little disjointed and like segmented, and like you're not really sure, you know, there are some like cuts in this that I'm like, wait, what's happening now?
Yeah.
But
I mean, we spend a good 20 minutes with the cops only for them to just show up at the Firefly house and die.
Yeah. Like they do nothing. We keep cutting back to cops, and then they get there and they immediately get dispatched. Like that's it. Um, and like I listening to the commentary, you can tell that Rob Zombie is incredibly he's proud of this movie and he's proud of the legacy and he loved making it and he loves the people he made this with. But like even he's sitting there going like, "Oh, and there's another jump cut to footage that doesn't really matter."
Yeah, he knows this movie has warts and all.
Yeah, exactly. Like
but I think the warts and all add to the charm of the movie.
I agree. Like I've always said it. I have always said this. Like I would rather watch something fucking messy made on very little money that came from the heart than something with $300 million at its disposal that's maybe pristine. Maybe it's one of the best movies you've ever seen, but yeah, they had 300 million and every tool at their disposal to make it. Fine, fuck it. Like that there are places for those movies, and I still enjoy watching those. But give me a fucking scrappy underdog movie any day, because this is so much more interesting than anything you're gonna see from like Marvel. I mean, you know.
Let's talk about the Firefly family a little bit then, and talk about each of them, because you have Captain Spaulding, who we find out is part of the family by the end of the movie. Everybody knows that at this point because he's in the Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell.
Right.
So again, like Sid Haig wasn't like he was of course a character actor, but wasn't really in the mainstream of like here's a horror icon.
Yeah. This movie made
or a household name. Yeah. And Rob Zombie really brought him back into the limelight with Captain Spaulding, one of the great horror movie clowns of all time. And also, he's so different than any other horror movie clown.
I mean,
because he's an angry, pissed off clown who's not really a clown. He's not there to entertain children. It's just like part of his moniker with his fried chicken gas station sideshow attraction.
Yeah. Well, like, do you ever? People talk a lot about. I'm gonna shit on Quentin Tarantino again.
Yeah.
People talk so much about Quentin Tarantino resurrecting actors' careers and stuff, and like, yeah, sure. He put Pam Grier in Jackie Brown, but then what did Pam Grier do after that? Did he put her in any movies afterwards? Fuck no. Like, fucking John Travolta? John Travolta hasn't worked with...
still Travolta. Like, yeah,
Travolta was still Travolta, and it's not like he's worked with Tarantino a lot since. You know, like, it's just... Rob Zombie took actors that were not in the public limelight anymore. He made them icons, and then he continued to work with those people. Like,
So the other one for me is Bill Moseley.
Yes.
As Otis. Bill Moseley, again, was not doing a whole lot here. He was appearing, he has been in other stuff. Is he in the Night of the Living Dead remake?
He might be. I think he might be. I have not seen that one.
But also that was like over 10 years before this movie. So obviously his big thing was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, playing Chop Top. But really didn't like have a whole lot outside of that. He appeared in one of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, which was like straight to video. Was not a household name showing up to like horror cons like he is now because of playing a character like Otis. And again, Rob Zombie brought him back into the limelight with this character, and he's delivering a goddamn scary performance in this.
Oh,
I think so Otis scary. Is terrifying. One of my favorite lines from this movie is Otis, and he's kind of looking directly into the camera, and he's like, "The boogeyman is real. You found him."
Yep.
It's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you are the boogeyman. I don't want to mess with you.
Well, when we first see him, he's kidnapped these cheerleaders that you hear have like disappeared.
Yeah.
Right? And you find out that it's because they are in the Firefly family home being tortured and killed. And like Mosley has a bunch of them in a room kind of tied up, and as he's torturing them, he's monologuing about counterculture and like not being in the norm. And I'm like, this monologue feels like the thesis for everything that Rob Zombie does. Because everything Rob Zombie does is like, from his music to his fucking like movies, it's always kind of loud and abrasive and in your face and just like, oh, does this make you uncomfortable? I don't fucking care. You know? Like, I don't know. Otis's opening sequence and his monologue very much feel like Rob Zombie speaking through that character.
Yeah, so we need to cover Night of the Living Dead remake. He is in that, but in the 90s, he was doing very small bit roles in a lot of like straight to video stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, and so, yes, people can talk all they want about, oh, Tarantino saves actors and he brings them back from lackluster careers. And I'm like, he's not doing it that well. And he's not doing it with the same intensity that Rob Zombie is doing this. Like, I don't know. You know what? While we're on casting, we've talked about Bill Moseley. We've talked about Sid Haig. Let's get this out of the way. Casey, this is a pro Sherry Moon Zombie podcast. If you don't like Sherry Moon Zombie, I don't give a fuck.
Sherry Moon Zombie rules and is an incredible actress.
Yep, she is. Like, honestly, all you need to watch is Lords of Salem, and it's like, yeah, no. She deserves all the flowers. She's fantastic. She's having a fucking blast in this movie. Her laugh as Baby Firefly is chilling. Like, I hate her laugh in this in the best way.
No one at Warner Brothers considered her for Harley Quinn is insane to me.
Right? I mean, seriously, like she's
insane.
Yeah, and like people can bitch all they want. Oh, Rob Zombie always casts his wife. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm sorry if I was making movies and Maria wanted to be in every single one of them, I'd put her in every single fucking one of them.
Yeah. If you're making this kind of movie and you have Sherry Moon Zombie available,
yeah,
and you get to work with your wife every single day, then yes,
oh
you
my
cast
God,
your wife
yes.
in all these movies.
100%. I think it's actually super fucking sweet and adorable that he always wants to work with his wife. How many directors do you know actually do that? Yeah. And you know what? Sherry Moon Zombie, fantastic. She's great. And she's amazing in this. She's amazing in Lords of Salem. I'm going to say it. She's fucking great in his Halloween movies. Like, I don't know what to say to people who are like, oh, she's terrible. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna, no, I won't go any further, but.
No, I think she's incredible. I think she's incredible in this movie. She adds so much to the character of Baby Firefly. She's having so much fun playing this character. She's having a ridiculous amount of fun playing Baby Firefly.
Yeah,
and then when we finally get her, when you get her out of the Firefly house, especially when she goes to the Red Hot Pussy Liquor, which is a great liquor store name. And you get that scene of her at the liquor store. And she's almost like, again, feeling like she's integrating into society in a way.
Yep.
Like, this is what she acts like out in public. Still a little bit on the fringe, but not like outright maniacal laughing in your face while she's torturing and scalping you.
Right.
Yeah, I love that scene. Her calling Goober all the time. Great story, Goober.
Yep. It's just one of those performances that I'm like, no, like this is the type of performance you center a trilogy around. And this movie has 3 of them. Like literally, like Haig, Moseley, and Sherry Moon Zombie are so good in all three of these movies. I'll just say it. Like all three of these movies. I don't I don't like Devil's Rejects or Three from Hell as much as I like this movie.
We need to rewatch Devil's Rejects.
I do because that's another one that I have not watched since a long, long time
I will
ago.
say, just quickly on that one, because it's been a while since I watched it, but when I was going through like all of Rob Zombie's movies, I think it was right before like 31 came out.
Okay.
So I was going through all of them and like, this ain't doing it for me. And then I finally got to Devil's Rejects, and it was like the Frank Reynolds moment where he's watching Mac dance in the prison.
Yeah.
I had the epiphany of like, I get it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to revisiting that one at some point because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little wary about House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch this twice in as many weeks.
Devil's Rejects is a far superior movie to House of a Thousand Corpses.
Okay, interesting.
And I love this movie. I can safely say I now love House of a Thousand Corpses. Devil's Rejects is, between that and Lords of Salem are his masterpiece. It's one or the other.
Okay, there's no way I'll like it more than Lords of Salem. Lords of Salem is a fucking perfect movie. Yeah.
So let's jump back into the Firefly house. We get some fucked up shit happening. You get Fishboy Dwight, which is a great special effect. I wish we got more of it. I don't know if he talks about this in the commentary. They shot more coverage for that scene, but just cut a lot of it out.
No, he mostly talked about how he thinks it's funny that like Fishboy has stood the test of time, and that he thinks it's hilarious that Rainn Wilson still goes to like conventions, and even though he's been in like shit like The Office, people will still bring like miniatures and 8x10s of Fishboy for him to sign.
That's another actor I would love to see him work with again. Like, I do want to see Rainn Wilson pop up in another zombie movie.
He should, because especially now that like Rainn Wilson he's grown as an actor, like I would love to see him come back to Zombie and to see them do something fucking weird. Yeah. He would have been perfect for Rob's Munsters movie, honestly. Like, I don't know who he would have played, but he would have fit that tone really well. No, I can't think of anyone other than Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman in that movie.
I do love Jeff. I am a Jeff Daniel Phillips defender in that movie for sure. But could you imagine Rainn Wilson's Herman Munster?
Oh, I'm sure it would be great. I am an unabashed lover of that movie, though. Just the way it is, warts like this one, warts and all.
I was going to say the closest movie I can think of in his filmography to one another is Corpses and The Munsters.
Yeah, weirdly, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
One's an R-rated splatterfest, and one's a PG kids movie.
Yeah. So let's jump into the third act then, and try to decipher some of this.
Okay.
Okay. So we have our three survivors at this point. Rainn Wilson's out of the picture. He's gone. He's Fishboy. And you have the three survivors left. And they all get put in these like rabbit costumes and are let out in the field. I love the look of Bill Moseley during the scene. He's like wearing the red like cloak and has like the white. He's like fucking pale white in this movie. I don't know what vitamin C and vitamin D took between this and Devil's Rejects. But he's like completely pale white and has like an upside down cross on his forehead.
Oh,
incredible look. Terrifying.
I love this look. It is like the coolest thing. Have you seen the like redesigned cover art for this that they did for like the recent re-release or whatever?
Yeah, the 20th anniversary one.
Yeah. Oh my god, that artwork
and he's
is
prominent.
So cool.
Yeah.
His white face and the upside down ash cross. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he'd been in that getup for the whole fucking movie because it is such a cool look.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they get these people all dressed up as rabbits and kind of do like a run rabbit run type thing. Like,
yep. Yeah.
And two of them end up in a coffin submerged underground and have these failed experiments of Dr. Satan /zombie /mud people attack them. Like, who are these people?
I don't know. They're a few of the 1,000 corpses, Casey. There are
They're
few of
five
the
of the
1,000 corpses.
1,000 corpses that are down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a wild scene that it's like, again, what is happening? Where did this come from?
Yeah, it makes no
And it
sense. I actually rewound this scene because I was like, did I miss something? Like, I've been watching this the whole time. Did I miss something? I did not miss anything. I was just confused.
and then same with the rest of this third act. You have one of the girls. Doesn't matter what her name is. Just one of the girls. The only one left. She's walking through like the tunnels underneath this well and stuff. Eventually comes across Dr. Satan.
Yeah.
And I love the look.
Looks amazing. Dr. Satan
and
fucking rules.
Dr. Satan and the professor. Like the fact
Yep.
that Rob never went back to these two characters in this trilogy is insane to me.
Yeah. He does
They
mention
look so cool.
He doesn't necessarily mention like his paring down process, but he does say like, you know, in a sequel, when you have less money, you have to kind of like, he's like, I knew that there were too many characters in this one. There were too many interesting characters, and I had to pare it down. And he doesn't explicitly say it, but I'm like, I guarantee you it's because like Sherry, Sid, and Bill are like three of his favorite actors that he works with. You know what I mean? Because like he's worked with them multiple times through multiple movies, and I'm just like, I guarantee you it was more of a, I like these cast members and I want to work with them again, rather than a pure like, this character would be great in a sequel perspective, you know?
Yeah. And also like the professor and Dr. Satan don't say anything. They don't have any dialogue.
No. They're just kind of a cool look. Yeah.
Yeah. How much can you do with them in a sequel versus those characters that actually do talk and have unique characteristics about them? But yeah, Dr. Satan has like these like robot extensions like onto like out of his shoulders onto his arms that's like helping him, and he has like this breathing apparatus on.
He's like a demonic Doc Ock.
Yeah. And then the professor is wearing like this giant mask with goggles, swinging around like this giant like is this like giant axe.
Yeah.
Did he tell this story on the show on the commentary of the axe with the professor?
I don't. Maybe not on the 20th anniversary one.
So when he's chasing the girl and he like is swinging the axe at her, the actor couldn't see out of the mask. They didn't give him a prop axe, and the girl almost didn't get out of the way on time.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. He may have mentioned that actually. You're saying that and it sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he's like, well, hopefully she just gets out of the way on time, I guess. Like,
Jesus Christ, that's nuts. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when again, this third act doesn't matter. She escapes. The whole thing like collapses down on Dr. Satan apparently. She goes running off, finds Captain Spaulding. Spaulding picks her up, and then Otis pops up out of the back seat and brings her back down apparently to Dr. Satan's cavern of terrors, and we get the end. ?
Yeah. It's like, it's such a fun the thing that maybe we haven't talked too much about is how like throwback this movie feels. Like this definitely has all of the DNA of like that 70s grindhouse kind of era.
It takes place during the late 70s.
And like the characters don't necessarily act like it's the 70s. Like it's not a perfect period piece, you know? But it also like it evokes the same kind of nasty, grimy feeling that all of those movies did, along with a lot of the cheese from that era. Like you would see this playing at a drive-in in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like this is very much that
100%.
type of movie. And in that sense, it pairs really well with Spider Baby, which very much feels like a precursor to the very movies that this one is homaging, you know?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, so a brief bit of trivia that we haven't covered yet on this movie before we get to our final thoughts. I think the influences in this movie Rob just wears on his sleeve in this: classic Universal monsters, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Hills Have Eyes. Duh.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Even he mentions Rocky Horror Picture Show on the commentary, and he goes. He goes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Rocky Horror are two of my favorite movies. And I've always kind of looked at this movie like if someone tried to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with the tone of Rocky Horror. And I'm like, not a total
Yeah.
1-to-1, but pretty
No.
Much. Like,
No, yeah, not bad.
like that's a pretty solid way of looking at it.
The Firefly Family, why is that so hard to say, is named after Marx Brothers characters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Famous Johnny Ramone, was offered the role of Stucky as part of the Firefly Family. Turned it down because he's like, I'm not an actor. But showed
fair.
up to the premiere and supported Rob.
Well, that's cool.
And then last, we kind of briefly touched on this, but a lot of the cutaway style scenes with Bill Moseley and Sherry Moon Zombie were actually shot in Zombie's basement, in between the actual principal production of the movie and in the final edit. Shot in his basement on 16 millimeter just for funsies.
Yeah.
Just for funsies. Also, incredible soundtrack for this movie. House of a Thousand Corpses is a fantastic song.
Yeah. Brick House.
Pussy Liquor is a great song. Brick House, that plays over the credits. Incredible
it's
song.
Rob's cover of it. Like, it's solid.
Great scene with me. Again, the music influence is definitely there, especially during like the talent show part of when they're in the Firefly house and Baby starts singing like in this old timey.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like this old timey cover, yeah.
Which Rob actually said in the commentary she didn't rehearse that. That was like one of those things that she just like showed up and did on set, just on her own. He was like, I rolled the camera, I said action, and that's what she did. He's like, I found it so incredible. And I'm like, you should, because it's one of the coolest scenes in the movie. And like, for that to not be rehearsed at all, like, what the fuck?
So briefly get into our final thoughts here. Funko has just released some House of a Thousand Corpses Funko Pops. They did a Captain Spaulding very early on in Funko's run. But they've released a Captain Spaulding, a baby Firefly, where she's wearing that costume from like the talent show part.
Hell yeah.
And then Otis, where he's wearing the red cloak with the upside down cross.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Shit.
They have released them, and the Trick or Treat Studio has released, I think, 6 or 7 of the characters in action figure form. Even comes with like a collector's case. So like the fandom is there for House of a Thousand Corpses, and rightfully so. And I'll get to my final thoughts here. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 corpses. Not quite 1,000 of them. I'll give it 4 out of 5 corpses in this one. I think this is one that I continue to go back and find more and more to enjoy about it, and one that I find myself loving more and more. And I think it's maybe the most fun I have watching a Rob Zombie movie. Like Haunted World of El Super Beasto is definitely up there, but at least in terms of pure enjoyment, this is definitely towards the top. And I would love to cover the rest of his filmography. I think he has a fascinating filmography that we could definitely cover for years to come here. But Sam, what about you? How many corpses are you giving House of a Thousand Corpses?
You know, through conversation of Spider Baby, I bumped mine up a half a star. I'm gonna do the same for this, and I'm also giving this 4 out of 5 fishtails. We're gonna give it 4 out of 5 fishtails.
Fishtails, okay.
Yeah, fishtails that are sewn onto Rainn Wilson's torso. And no, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of dreading this watch because I remember being like really grossed out by it as a kid, and like I was still pretty grossed out by it as an adult. It's a gross movie, right? But I watched this movie originally way too early in my horror journey, and seeing it now, I'm like, oh my god, like. Yes, it's rough around the edges. The third act makes 0 sense. Like, the characters are just nothing. But there is so much energy and chaotic vibes and, like, stellar Halloween Halloween set deck going on. To where this is a winner for me. I love it. I love the Firefly family. I love Haig and Mosley and Moon Zombie. Like, I think all of them are just giving their all in this movie. And for a first time directorial debut from a guy who had only done music videos up to that point, I think it's fucking fantastic. And yeah, 4 out of 5 fishtails. House of a Thousand Corpses. Check it out. All right. That's our double feature, which means it's time to thank the fine folks at Fangoria. Fangoria, for over 40 years, has been the leading source in horror for all things spooky, horrific, and macabre. The famed magazine is back with a vengeance each quarter with brand new issues of Fangoria magazine, featuring interviews, retrospectives, and insight into the world of horror. We have an exclusive offer for our listeners to save 20% off their subscription to the magazine, the latest Fango merch, and so much more. You can visit shop.fangoria.com/screamsfromthebasement or hit that QR code down at the bottom of the screen and use promo code SCREAMSFROMTHEBASEMENT at checkout. Thanks to Fangoria for helping support the show. Casey?
Sam.
We've actually been doing a fuck ton lately. But on top of that, we've also been apparently watching a ton of stuff because you and I both have a laundry list that we have to get through.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing?
Well, let's go through this list because most of the stuff we have watched together because we've been
Tons of
hosting a
it.
lot of it or going to see a lot of it together. So I'm going to start things off with our Conjuring screening that we did at the Sioux Falls State Theater just a couple weeks ago. We were joined by Gypsy Witch Paranormal here in Sioux Falls at the State Theater. And it was really a fun paranormal night where we got to sit down, watch The Conjuring. Of course, we just did an episode on that a little over a month and a half ago. Yep. So we had just watched it. It was fresh in our minds. But I don't know about you, but watching The Conjuring on the big screen for the first time was just as scary as watching it at home for the first time.
I agree 100%. It was... And the state sound system is so good that, like, there were moments where our seats were rumbling.
Mm-hmm.
I was genuinely scared for most of that movie. It was
same.
It was kind of like watching it again for the first time, even though we had literally watched it weeks before. Had a great time. We did a fun little paranormal experiment after the movie. You can talk a little more on that since you were
so after the movie, really, The Conjuring was like a tone setter for what happened afterwards. We had a near sold out crowd, which was awesome. Most of the people hung out afterwards with us. So we joined Gypsy Witch Paranormal, which they are paranormal investigators here in Sioux Falls. They were at our Screams by Night convention, which is where we connected with them for the first time. And we've been talking about this pretty much ever since Screams by Night of, hey, let's do something together, figure this out, because we did a whole episode on paranormal experiences of our own. Like we at least have fun with it in the mystery of it, of not knowing what's beyond the further. So on this night, I don't know about you. Maybe we can start with this. I've never felt anything weird, strange, abnormal inside the State Theater, and we've been there a 100 times now at this point. It's never had that vibe versus other places that we talked about on our paranormal episode, where sometimes these places just have a certain feeling about them. Gitchy Manitou being one for both of us, that it's like there's something here, and we don't really like this. After the screening, we did a bit of a paranormal experience, an experiment. So I volunteered myself to do what's called the Estes method, where you put on headphones that are scanning through radio frequencies, and then you put on a blindfold so you can't see anything. So basically, all of your senses are just going to what you're listening to. So I'm just scanning through radio frequencies. Well, you and the Gypsy Witch team are asking questions. And you can obviously talk more about this part, because I didn't know what you guys were asking.
I mean... we were asking they started asking kind of the basic stuff, the like, who are you? Are there any spirits that want to communicate? You know, like, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. The at one point you weren't really saying too much at first. You know, it took a little while to get going.
Yeah.
Um, and they were like, someone suggested like, well, maybe Sam should ask a question. And almost immediately after they said that, you said the words right person. And so we took that as a sign. But then I started asking the ghost questions. He got shy and stopped talking to me again. Like, he only answered a few of my, like, and he didn't really answer them. He just kind of, the ghost that you were channeling was very one word, 2 word answer kind of guy.
I mean, that's all you can hear during that.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just kind of one of those, like,
So, like,
we could piece
it's literally
together
scanning
some
through
stuff.
any radio frequency. So there was like a bits where I could like start hearing bits of like a Britney Spears song. I could hear a little bit of the Dodgers game. I heard a little bit of a certain orange-faced president.
Oh, God. That's the
But I didn't hear
scariest thing.
specific. That was the scariest thing. But I didn't hear any words from that stuff. But I would hear words. I heard my name twice. What did I say? Bash. That
Yeah.
scared me when I heard that one. I was like,
Bash.
yeah. I
So
was
for me,
like
the minute you
like
said,
bash my brains in, like what? And then
because
we
you
kind of
said,
figured out like bash, like party bash.
yeah, because you said bash and you said Saturday pretty close to each other. And this was the
And
weekend
event.
before we went to, yeah, an event. And that was right before we went to Halloween-a-Palooza. So, yeah, that was kind of the connection that I made anyways. I was never scared when you said bash. I was like, ah.
Yeah. If it happens, it happens. No, it was weird to hear that. I was like, oh, what's the context here? I don't know what you got. I didn't know what you guys asked was part of it.
How did you die? Bash.
Smash. It was a graveyard smash. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. We'll maybe we'll do it again. Maybe we'll do another paranormal type event in the future. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, let's get back to some of the other movies here. We did a unofficial Good Boy Bad Boy double feature at the State where we watched the brand new horror film from Shudder, Good Boy, about the goodest boy, Indy, who yeah, basically like has to encounter ghosts and paranormal experiences at his house. And then we watched Cujo right after that, back to back. So a movie about the bestest boy and a movie about a naughty boy who gets bit by a bat.
Cujo's so tragic though. Like I love that movie, but I hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
Um yeah, Good Boy I loved.
Yeah.
All I'll say about Good Boy is like there were certain, I'm glad I saw it in the theater. There were certain scare sequences that genuinely got me. Some of the cinematography in this is wild. The making of is even crazier. Like the way they shot this and like made it seem like the dog was emoting way more than the dog actually was. Like, as the director put it, the dog didn't even know he was in a movie. Like, it's really cool. And I could see why like it wouldn't be for everybody because it's very light on plot. It's mostly a vibes movie. And like it's pretty cyclical. Like, you're seeing the dog go through a lot of similar scenarios for quite some time. But like, I don't know, by the end I was just like, I was super moved by it. I was like, I loved this movie. I thought it was very inventive. I thought it was one of the scarier movies that I've seen this year, like genuinely scary. And I really loved it. And then we watched Cujo, which is also just, it's a fucking banger, and Dee Wallace is just so good in it. Um
I was
it was a
very
great night at the movies.
I was very lukewarm on Good Boy, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. I think it's 100% worth a watch and something everybody should go out and see and kind of just form your own opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's more stuff I liked in it than didn't like. It just overall hasn't left an impression on me. But Cujo is an interesting late night that we did. It's probably going to end up being the lowest attended one, even though it was still very well attended.
Yeah.
It's just because I think Cujo, everybody knows this movie, and it feels like almost feels like a Saturday afternoon horror, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I'm glad that we programmed it for a late night.
But I'm
I
glad,
think it was
yeah,
good.
especially back to back with Good Boy.
Yeah. It was it kind of felt like an event. I know it wasn't like billed as an official double feature at the state, but it
Yeah,
felt like a double feature at the state. And there were a lot of people that who went to Good Boy and
went to
then went
both.
to
Yeah,
Cujo after, and that was just it was a fun time at the movies.
yeah. So I'll jump to another movie I watched at the state. You were not in town for this one. I watched
Mm,
Dario Argento's Phenomena for the
yeah.
first time. Something that's been on my Argento watch list for a while because I love Argento. Um, yeah, Donald Pleasance is in this movie. There's a monkey with a switchblade in this movie. This movie's insane, insane. It has a Goblin soundtrack. Claudio Simonetti, Iron Maiden, Motorhead. Yeah, this movie has a stack soundtrack that sometimes doesn't always fit with what's going on screen, but it's a total vibe that it totally somehow does a full 180 and finds itself, or yeah, 360, 180, whatever direction you want to call it. It comes back to fitting the tone of what's happening. It's kind of crazy. So the reason we wanted to watch this so much is Kayla is a big fan of Jennifer Connelly from Labyrinth,
Oh,
obviously,
yep.
and so we both went and watched this, and like, I don't know, I've seen some reviews that are like, oh, Jennifer Connelly's a bad actress, she can't act. Like,
Okay.
I think she's phenomenal in this movie. She's kind of great. I mean, she's great in everything, and I think she's really great in this movie, especially with Argento, who at this point is mostly doing Italian work
Mm.
with a couple now American actors in his movie here. So yeah, highly recommend. It's not top tier Argento for me, but it's like really solid B tier Argento. Yeah. And then jumping to our next late night, which was our mystery movie at the state, we showed the 40th anniversary of George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. This movie is Romero made three 5-star zombie movies. They're all 5 stars on any given day. Heck, we might go watch Night of the Living Dead at the Coyote Twin in a couple weeks, and I might say that's the best one. Or when we watched Dawn of the Dead a couple years ago, I might say that I said at that point that was the best one. After this one, I'll say this is the best one. Any given day that could change because he made 5-star three, god damn it, 3 5-star zombie movies. The dude was obviously the godfather of the undead, and Day of the Dead is no stranger to that.
So I agree. I think that all three of these first zombie movies that he did are 5-star movies. I also think that Night and Dawn have some, maybe even by design, lackadaisical pacing that, like, this one does at first. I think the
Well, I was
third
just going to
act of,
say, this movie is 100% lackadaisical.
well, it's a slow burn. I think this is I think this is a different pace than than the first two.
Mm.
I think both of them have good climaxes. I think Day has a fucking great climax. Like, Day's
Yeah, of the
third
three, I
act.
think it's the most satisfying
Yeah,
climax.
yeah. I don't know. For me, this one is like so easily my favorite, and I think a huge part of that is just like the slow burn that just builds to this chaotic and so satisfying third act. But it's also like the way Romero deploys the zombies in this one is just so interesting, because like feel like the zombies really like not that they didn't have character in the original ones or in like Night and Dawn, but like there's like a Jersey housewife zombie that's chomping gum. There's a football player zombie. There's like there are some like crazy ass zombies. There's a fucking gator coming out of a bank in the opening of this movie for what reason? I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just a gator. Like
Now that zombies roam the earth, gators roam the streets.
yeah, exactly. And now and then you also have Bub, who is a zombie that, if you haven't seen Day, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but Bub's arc through Day is one of the like most brilliant fucking things I've ever seen in a zombie movie. I love it. I think I think his final moment is perfect. I think it's like one of the most like I'm shocked that I hadn't seen this in like clip shows or anything before. I'd seen the headphones over Bub. I'd never seen anything else about Bub. Did not know. I didn't even know he was going to be a central character in this movie.
Wild.
I loved everything with him. Like I'm a Bub stan. Like in this Day of the Dead was easily my favorite Romero. I think it's my favorite Romero movie in general. It's so good. It's so good, and I loved it. I can't believe that I got to see it on the big screen for the first time. Blew my fucking mind.
That's wild. You had not seen like anything from this movie.
No, like nothing.
Bub is arguably the most iconic zombie of
Yeah.
all time.
I can see why. I don't know how I missed, like, I don't know. I have literally, I think I'm pretty sure this was the last of the Dead movie, and that's counting the like straight to video direct that Romero did later. Like this was the last of Romero's of the Dead movies that I had to see, and I genuinely think it's the best one. I think it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, if you missed our mystery movie, or if you're not in the Sioux Falls area and haven't watched Day of the Dead in a while, do yourself a favor during this 40th anniversary. Give it a rewatch.
Yeah. Yep.
Next up on my list, another new release that we'll be covering on the podcast actually next month, which is Dorothea. Dorothea is based on the killer grandma, Dorothea Puente, who was a serial killer during the 1980s. This comes from the same director as Ed Kemper. That came out, was that last year? Where we talked to Brink, or 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago? Last year?
I'm pretty sure it was last year.
Yeah, last year. That we talked to a friend of the show, Brink Stevens, about. She also has a small role in this movie as well, made by the same team, made by Chad Farron, who has kind of like carved himself out this weird little niche of serial killer horror movies that have this, I don't know how to even describe it. This, like, how would you describe Kemper's sensibility?
It definitely had some like very dark humor moments.
Yeah.
Like and which
but it
is
never felt exploitative.
Yeah. It's very strange. It's almost like it uses the dark humor to make you more uncomfortable with what's happening on screen.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like it's using it, it's deploying that humor intentionally to make you even more uncomfortable. And I think that's kind of the brilliant thing about that movie. And I'm watching Dorothea tomorrow as we're recording this. And so I'm very excited to check this out because from what you've told me, it's a lot like Kemper, and I liked that movie quite 100%. A bit. So, yeah.
Has that weird dark humor sensibility, also has like this kinetic energy to it that you don't find in a lot of other like true crime real life stories. And I think that's another part that sets this apart from most other like true crime stories, or how people tell true crime stories. So it'll be interesting to talk. We're going to have a full interview with Chad Farron on the podcast and talk about that more, and definitely have to get into how he makes the tone of these movies. So
yeah.
Then last but not least on my list, we made our way down to Ottumwa, Iowa for Halloween-a-Palooza, and we ended the festivities as they have for the last 15 years. This is their 15th Halloween-a-Palooza.
So. Yeah.
With Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I have a blast watching. I know you have very, very different experience watching this with the crowd than maybe I do or other people do. I think it's a ton of fun. I would love to see this outside. Like, the only time I've ever seen it with a crowd is at Halloween-a-Palooza. So I would love
Yeah.
to see it in a movie theater in that type of environment as well. But I had a blast watching it. This movie is, whether there's people yelling stuff at the screen or if it's just us watching it at home, I have a blast with this movie either way. Unlike another yell at the screen type movie, The Room, where you cannot watch that movie at home because it'll be a miserable experience. Rocky Horror is not that kind of movie. You'll have a blast no matter how you watch it. Yeah, I mean, it's a movie we will probably never do an episode on, because like
Yeah. You can't.
what
Yeah.
can we do? What can we say about Rocky Horror that has not been said?
Yeah. 100%. I like so. I will say I enjoyed it a lot more this time around. I've I've been a fan of Rocky Horror for years. Ever since I picked up a Blu-ray of it, like when it just like it had just gotten remastered, gotten a brand new Blu-ray release, like back in the mid 2010s or something like that, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up, and I watched it, and I'm just like, this movie's wild. This is so good. Like, this is like a bad movie. I mean, like I know it's cheesy and hokey, but I was like, this isn't a bad movie. The music rules. The performances are really great. Like, I love this. And sometimes it is hard for me to watch it with a crowd where people are yelling and I can't hear all of the music and I can't, like. But I was prepared for it going into Halloween-a-Palooza this year. And aside from one audience member that did not realize that like it's a participation movie, but you can still be silent at least for fleeting seconds, instead of just constantly running your mouth. Um, like, take a breath, buddy. Anyways, I had a really good time with this. I had a really good time watching it. I think Mike does a great job of like leading the crowd in the stuff. Like, and yeah, it's not my preferred way to watch it because I genuinely love this movie and I like being on my couch watching it, singing along with it in the comfort of my
Yeah,
own home.
yeah.
But I do have a good time with this, and I really want to see it with a shadow cast sometime. Like, I've always thought that was really cool. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but we will be elsewhere when the theater just down the street that I work at is literally doing a shadow cast production of this movie. So maybe next year
Next year, I'm looking when
yeah,
Halloween is next year, that we can. It's on
that
a
we can,
Saturday night, so we won't
yeah,
have a late night next year, so we can
perfect. I can work
be there.
concessions, go in for the movie, and then I'll probably have to help clean up after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Is that
Well,
all
Sam,
you've got?
what else have you been doing besides all of our stuff that we've been hosting?
Yeah. I just recorded another junket interview for a movie called Dead Giveaway. Um from, oh my God, I just had the director's name in my head and it popped out. Um
Ian Kimball.
Ian Kimball, that's right. Ian Kimball directed Dead Giveaway, which stars Scout Taylor Compton, Michaela Hoover, and Ruby Modine. Um and it's like a comedic thriller, really. It's not horror, but it is very bloody. Uh, there's some great gore in it. Um, and it's about this girl who wakes up next to a dead guy in her bed, like he's been stabbed to death. And she's trying to keep this from her roommate. She calls her best friend over, and they are trying to figure out what happened, why there's a dead body in her bed, who did it, and like it kind of just goes from there. Like, it's a very twisty, turny, a little convoluted, but like in a really like zany way kind of movie. That has a lot of moving pieces and is like quite a bit of fun. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it is like it kind of lives on the energy that the three leads bring. And like Ruby Modine and Michaela Hoover, they play really, really effective like best friends. Like, you believe that they're best friends who would cover for each other if there was a dead body in one of their beds. And then when Scout Taylor Compton comes into the movie, which isn't until like closer to the back half, holy shit, she brings like a spark of energy to it that is so goddamn funny. Like, I don't think of Scout Taylor Compton as like a comedic actress. She's really funny in Dead Giveaway. So it's one that's definitely worth checking out. When it comes out right now, it's playing the festival circuits. We'll have an interview with Ian dropping at the end of the month. Um, but yeah,
On
keep
Halloween.
it. Yeah, on Halloween. So keep Dead Giveaway on your radar because it's one to watch out for. I could see Shudder acquiring this and putting it on their streaming service. It's kind of one of those movies that's like, yeah, it's low budget, but it's a ton of fun. Like so um Maria and I are continuing our Halloween binge. And over the course of last week, we watched the Cult of Thorn trilogy.
Yeah.
Um
Cult
maybe
of
it's
Thorn trilogy defender right here.
It's true, and here's the thing, Casey, is I've actually kind of come around on at least 2/3 of it, and even kind of number five. Halloween 4 was it was funny. I looked up my Letterboxd review as I was rewatching Halloween 4, and the last time that I watched Halloween 4, which was like 4 or 5 years ago, I rated it 4 stars. But since then, I've been kind of like, ugh, and I think it's because I always just mash Halloween 4 and 5 together. 4
Yeah.
is genuinely great. 4 has a great performance from Danielle Harris. It's got some good kills. Like, Michael Myers is just kind of brutal in 4. Like, his mask is terrible. I'm not going to defend the mask in this or 5. I think they're the worst masks of the franchise. And that's saying something because H2O exists and there's like 3 different bad masks in that one.
I think 5 has the worst mask.
5 is the worst one by far, yeah. 4 is better than 5, but not much. Yeah. But I love how like Michael Myers is like putting thumbs through skulls and ripping dudes just like
jumping
necks
onto
out
cars
and like jumping onto cars. Like he's an animal in this movie. And it's got one of the best endings in the Halloween franchise, which brings me to 5 that reneges on that and is like, nah, psych, we're not going there. We're going to do a Frankenstein homage where Michael Myers kills a hermit who's been nursing him back to health for a year. I don't know, man. It's just 5 I still had a ton of fun with. It might have been due to the help of some herbal supplements. But I did
it's a fun movie that just retreads everything from 4.
Yes. And like Loomis, I don't know what the fuck Loomis is doing in this movie. He's just yelling at a traumatized girl the entire time. His burn makeup changes from scene to scene. Like everything with Loomis is really sloppy and I'm just like, what are we doing here? It does have a pretty cool ending with the Man in Black going into the jail and like killing all the cops and getting Michael and Michael gets free. And then the real surprise for me came when we ended up watching the theatrical cut of Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 6. Or not, Curse of Michael Myers. Holy shit. I forgot how good this movie was. Like, I think for the longest time, like, I lumped this in with 5 as well, where I'm just like, nah, it's not good. And, like, look, it's not good from a technical standpoint. The story makes no sense. Like, there are times where, like, you've been following characters for 2 or 3 scenes, and you're like, but who are these people? Like, why am I following these people? Who are they in relation to anybody? That said, the kills, there's a head explosion in this that's gnarly. Like, Myers is genuinely terrifying in this one. This, depending on the day, is either my second or third favorite Michael Myers. Is Halloween 6's Michael. I think that he is...
It might be I think it's my second favorite mask of the series.
Oh, it's easily my second favorite mask. Easily. It's the best one since the original. And the only one that even comes close is like the Halloween 2018 one. And that would also be the, like, James Jude Courtney's really good too. Like, say what you will about the Gordon Green movies, James Jude Courtney's a fantastic Michael Myers. I don't know. Like, 6 really blew my mind this time around watching it. I was like, oh, like, no. I am a Curse of Michael Myers fan. Like, this is a solid fucking movie. So yeah, we're gonna continue with the series. Um, I don't know. I'm hoping that I keep kind of enjoying these more than I remember enjoying them. Uh, because yeah, H2O's next, and I'd love to finally see what everybody else does in that movie. You know, it's just one of those that I'm like, I don't get it, but sure. Anyways,
Hey, you've come around on two out of my three favorites of the series, so hopefully you can come
yeah,
around on the last one too.
I no longer find you playing Halloween 4 on our 80s horror countdown as egregious. It's still a little egregious, but not as
A little bit.
egregious.
We had to get a Halloween movie on there one way or the other.
It's true. I just wish it was Halloween 3.
Michael Myers had to be on that list, man.
Yeah, that's fair, but I mean Halloween 2 exists, man. So,
Yeah.
it's fair. It's fair. Look,
I like 4 over 2, but I like 2 a lot. I like
yeah.
the Halloween series a lot. Anyway.
Anyways, we'll do an episode on it sometime. Um,
Yeah.
And then the last thing I watched, it was a day that I was planning on watching something on Shudder to take notes for a Patreon article that I'm writing, and Shudder was down. Wouldn't you believe it? Of course, the day that I was like, oh, I have something intentional that I'm gonna watch on Shudder, Shudder was not working. So I reached out to the group chat on our Discord, and I was like, hey, anybody got some suggestions of things that are streaming for free? And our buddy Mike Timmerman introduced me to Forbidden Zone, directed by Richard Elfman. This movie makes Rocky Horror Picture Show look like a 4-quadrant tentpole blockbuster. I have no idea what I watched for the I think it's only like 85 minutes, if that. I like, dude, this is an acid trip. I was floored. I was like, the music's fantastic. Danny Elfman pops in as the devil. All the music's done by Oingo Boingo, so it's all just like fucking amazing, right? But this is the most like off the wall, weird, kind of very offensive, like what are we doing here kind of movie. There are shootouts in school classrooms, which granted it was made before, today's culture.
Ow. Yeah.
But like, what the fuck am I watching? There's a character who's an old man, but he's playing a little boy because he has a Boy Scout uniform and a little hat with one of those propellers on it. Like, it's insane, dude. It's one of the weirdest fucking movies I've ever watched. And I was about halfway through it and I'm like, I don't know whether to thank Mike or be like, what the hell, man? And honestly, I kind of just settled for both the next time I saw it. So yeah, Forbidden Zone. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm not saying you're gonna love it. I'm not saying anybody's gonna love it. I have no idea. I personally did. But it's a different kind of movie. So anyways, that's what I've been doing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, Sam, you know what else we've been doing?
What?
This podcast.
Oh
We've
my
done
God,
a podcast. We've done a double feature. Yeah, we got some plugs here at the end of the show to bring up, but I want to first of all say, because this is going to be the last time we talk to everyone before Halloween. Just want to say happy Halloween, everyone. Have a great Halloween. Hopefully we see you at the Halloween 2 late night at the state, our last one for the month of October, the last one on the schedule, at least for now. So yeah, hopefully you guys make it out to that at the Sioux Falls State Theater. So yeah, come hang out with us and watch both Halloween 1 and 2 on the big screen. But Sam, what's our other big event that we have coming up before the end of the month?
Are you talking about the screening of Night of the Living Dead?
I am talking about the screening of Night of the Living Dead.
Okay, sometimes I have to ask because I know I forget things when I'm just
We're nearing the
spot.
end here, Sam. We're
nearing
almost
the
done.
Spot. Yeah, we're nearing the end. Anyways, yeah,
the end is nigh.
We're playing Night of the Living Dead at the Coyote Twin. It's a free screening. Donations to the theater are encouraged. Buying concessions, very encouraged. We're gonna have some fun. We're hosting Night of the Living Dead. We're hosting a costume contest. We're going to make this thing a party. It's going to be so much fun. I wish, not that we had any room in our schedule for it, but I wish we would have, at some point this month, had a screening of Dawn of the Dead, even if it was out of order. Wouldn't that have been cool?
Yeah.
Shit, But, Night of the Living Dead, Monday the 27th at 7 p.m., Coyote Twin Theater. We're very fucking pumped for this.
Yeah. First time watching Night of the Living Dead in the theater at the Coyote Twin, one of my favorite theaters, Sam's home turf.
Yep.
This will complete the trilogy. Were you at Dawn of the Dead at the state?
Yes, we went to Dawn together. Yep.
We will both be completing the trilogy of watching the first 3 of the Dead movies in a theater. So very excited to host this. Going to be a great time. Hopefully the first of many that we get to hang out in Vermilion and help host. Sam, let's get to the plugs here for the show. Where can people find us online, and where can they follow us on social media?
Yeah, well, if you like this podcast and you want more, you can subscribe, leave a 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. 5 stars. Help us out. Subscribe Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts. If you like that video component, subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Good or bad, we take them all.
We take them all. Let us know why Quentin Tarantino sucks.
Yeah. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. We're updating it with content all the time there. We let you know all the events we have coming up. We let you know about episode drops. And there's just some other fun stuff that we post from time to time on each of those platforms too. So follow us on all those socials. Casey, if they want to support the show financially, how can they do that?
They can help support the show by getting some sick Streams from the Basement merchandise on tpublic.com. Links in the episode description. You can get t-shirts, shorts, stocking caps, baseball caps, stickers, pillows. I don't know. There's so much stuff you can get on our
Tote
TeePublic
bags
store.
For all you old librarians.
What? Book bags?
Tote bags
tote
for
bags.
All you old
Tote
librarians.
Bags. Yeah, put all your bad hand books in there. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, TeePublic, check out our link in the episode description. So that's one of the best ways you can help support us and get some really cool merchandise. Also check out our sister show, The Bad Signal, that we make in collaboration with Bad Hand Books. We have a couple awesome episodes out right now, including ones with, who do we got? Haley Piper was our latest episode.
Yeah,
we have Ben Percy, Bracken McLeod. We have one coming up in a couple of weeks.
With Trevor Henderson.
With Trevor Henderson, creator of Siren Head and so many different artworks from Bad Hand Books. So yeah, check out our sister podcast, The Bad Signal. Wherever you find this podcast is where you can find that. And then also, best way to support us though is join our Patreon.
Yeah.
For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the podcast and every single thing that we do here on Screams from the Basement. You get bonus content each and every month. You also get some super sick artwork that we'll send out in the mail to you. And then you get our monthly bonus episode for that $5 tier each month. And this month, I don't know, Sam, do we know what we're doing yet?
I don't think so. We should talk about it.
I think I have it right here on the air. Should we just say it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Want to tier rank the Halloween movies?
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm already halfway done with my homework, baby.
I was going to say, you're almost done with them. Have most of them memorized at this point. Yeah. So yeah, let's do it. Let's tier rank every single Halloween movie.
Radical. I love it. Yeah.
All right. So $5 tiers on Patreon. That's what you're going to get this month for October. That'll be our special spooky ooky Halloween bonus episode on Patreon. But I think that's it. I think that's everything that we got going on for the podcast.
Oh yeah. Everybody, as Casey said earlier, we hope you have a fucking happy ass Halloween. Thank you for tuning in, and sweet screams.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.